Welcome to Saathwic Infotech. As part of our DevOps learning series, today we are in day 14 where we are going to see about how to make our script more functional. Okay, so till now, whatever the script we have written, right, it's like more sequential where it has like a lot of repeated items in our script, which can be made much better if we can create some functions and add the code to it, right? So, see, initially we started with like 4 to 5 lines and now it's almost like 30 to 40 lines, right? So let's make it more simple based on our functional approach. Okay, so how do we do about it? Okay, let's go. Because as part of this session, right, we are trying to understand like how do we make our scripts more efficient, okay, and more professional too, right? So okay, before that you guys need to understand what is a function. Okay, function is nothing but kind of a reusable code which will be called whenever it's required. It's similar to all the programming languages, right? So, and one more thing, you can have a question like, okay, Kumar, like if you are really new to Linux, like Kumar, do you don't have any data types in Linux? Yes, absolutely, we don't define any data types. In case if really you want to need, yeah, you can define it too. But ideally, we don't define. Okay, okay. So let us see. If you this is our script, right? If you look at our script, we have written completely all the functionalities where it's going to help you out, lock, unlock, and everything. Okay, before, okay, maybe let me take a copy of this script for our today's session. Okay, I don't want to mess up or anything of the existing script. So what I do is let me take a copy as day 14. So going forward, I am going to follow this standard. So each and every day training will be associated with that particular day script. Okay, so as we are in day 14, I am going to use the day 14 script. Okay, fine, great. So first, as a best practice, I mentioned, let us add few comments, right, which is like more simpler. So I follow this pattern every time. Okay, this script helps the user to lock and unlock users on the server. Okay, then author. Who is the author of this script? In this case, Saathwic Infotech. Okay, so next, created date. Okay, what is a created date? Because like as we are doing it for today, let me make the created date as today itself, right? Okay, it's nothing but 8/27. So 27 August 2023. Okay, then change history. Okay, so if you are doing any changes going forward, you need to add those changes to your change history so that any new user who is coming to the system will understand like what are the changes you have done. Okay, so that it really helps. Okay, so let me remove those commented lines. I don't want this. Okay, maybe logging I will add it sometime later, which I don't want, so that will make it very clear. So now things are very clear, right? So this is how for any scripts which you write, you should have this kind of an comments which says like what is the script and how to use. Basically, you should have one more thing also, like, okay, usage. Okay, how to use this script basically. So script name, type of operation, maybe lock or unlock, username. Okay, so this is how the script has to be executed. So that's what we are giving, and the change history. So for, that needs to be added. Let's take like I will put yesterday's date. Okay, today what are we going to do? I'm going to add something like this. Okay, on 27 August 2023. Okay, converting the script to use functional based code and also including the operation to use multiple values. So what does it mean? So maybe I will break out here. So what I am going to do, as discussed yesterday, right? I was saying, see, right now your script will take only capital L O C K. For example, if you want to run this script, okay, let me give you the permission. Chmod 755 D14. Okay. Okay. Now let's see day 14. If I give small lock Oracle, it says you give either lock or unlock, right? But we cannot control the users, right? So user, when we say lock or unlock, generally people will give all caps, all small, or first letter caps and everything, right? So let's do our best, right? So we can do our best, like either making everything as there are few things to do. Okay, what are the few ways I can able to achieve it? Either, okay, what are the few things we can do? Okay, I can include all the possible options in the script. Okay, mean to say that, okay, I can lock lock all. Okay, this is one way of doing. Second way is that, okay, whatever the option user gives, convert them to a single case. What does it mean? So whatever, like either user give capital L, small l, or capital LOC, convert them to a single case, means that you translate or you convert the cases. For example, if he is giving capital log, always convert it to small log. If he given with mixed case, always convert them to small log, so that your program will work without any issue. Okay, these are the two approaches generally people will do. Okay, let me explain you how to do the first approach. We'll discuss the second approach in another use cases wherever it needed. Maybe I will add that too if time permits. Okay, so now how to do that? Okay, yesterday even I have given you a clue in log. So this is the advantage of shell script which I mentioned, right? If, for example, in case if you want to do all those things in if statement, the if statement will be something like this. If dollar operation equal to lock, or either you can use or hyphen o, both are R statement in Linux. Okay, or dollar operation equal to lock, or dollar operation equal to LOCK. So something like this I need to return, correct? So which is like going to be very hectic. So that's the reason whenever we have to check for multiple options, it's always preferable to do in a case statement rather than if. But again, doing if is not wrong. But I'm saying it's like it makes your life easier. That's it, nothing much, right? Technically speaking, both will work in the same way. Okay, so let me remove it. Okay. Now the same way I will add it for unlock. Unlock. Okay. Now if you look at my script, let me run the same old code, right? It will lock. Okay, now I am not worried about any cases. I give unlock, it will unlock. So this is how. So this is what we really need, and also like I will unlocks. So which is not in our option 2, right? It should say like usage is wrong. Okay. Okay. Hope you understand this part, guys. Okay, this was the start, okay, which I am thought of explaining. Okay, great. So let's jump into the other actual functionality. Okay. Now if you closely look at this script, right? Okay, let's take this block, lock block. See, what are we doing here? Okay, there is an echo statement which state process to log the users. That's great. See, the second step is that validating the user availability on the server. Okay, till this is like validating the user availability, and then you are removing it to either you lock or unlocking, right? Okay, if you look at the below code, it's again the same repeated code, except only one thing. If you are locking, the operation is no login. If you are unlocking, the operation is bin bash. Is there any changes apart from that you see here? I don't think so. Either the word may says that okay, you are locking, unlocking. That might be different, nothing much. Okay. So how do I functionalize this? Okay, let me start with few things, right? Okay. So after we receive the input, I'm going to create the functions. Okay. Let's take validate user availability. Okay. So it takes how many parameters? If I want to validate the user availability, I need the user. That's a basic parameter which I need. So let me take the parameter as you. In general, right? So if you go to any programming languages, we define a function like this. Okay, like def validate user availability, and then you pass the parameter. Okay. So as I mentioned, right, Linux nowhere restrict the parameters and all. Like for example here, okay, the script is actually needed only two, but the script will never restrict you. Only you have to pass two. You can pass anything. Okay, again, if you are restricting, it's up to your code to restrict. So in general, in Linux, this is a syntax we follow. Okay. So for example, we don't def. Def is meant for Python. So we don't do that. So this is a function, simple function. Okay, this is how. Okay, the function, you don't know like what parameters is take. You can pass any number of parameters, but what are the parameters it intended to be passed is the only thing really matters to Linux shell script. Okay, so let's say, let me just for trial, right? I'm just not going to do anything. Let me make like okay a simple echo statement just to see. Okay, passed username. So the same parameters again follow. When you give $1 is nothing but the first parameter which is passed to this function. Okay, here the $1 defines the first parameter passed to the script. Here $1 defines the first parameter which is passed to the function. Okay, so how do I call it? So let me just call it here. I'm not going to do much thing about it. Okay, validate underscore user underscore availability. Is the spelling right? I think availability. Okay. So what I am going to do? I am going to pass $user because that is a parameter which this function ideally requires. So that's one I am passing. Let's see if this one is getting printed. Okay. So now I am going to execute the same log code because I have written the coding in log. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Pass the username is $oracle. So the function whatever we written is working fine. So let's go and add few more codes and other things like okay, view day 14. Okay, great. So let me remove this line. So and also like as a best practice, I would recommend all of you to write comment session for that particular function. So what I am going to do, I am going to completely remove all these things from here. Okay, I don't want anything to be in the code. So I'm going to try this for only for locking for now. I will tell you like how do you unlock also. So I'm going to delete everything here. Okay. So if I pass the user, it should ideally lock the account. So that's what. But the okay, if you look at, I have mentioned like validate user availability. Okay, there is a tricky part here. Okay, guys, just understand, if you are know these kind of basic coding standards, you will I will ensure you will able to write a better code even in Python. Okay, because in Python when you write any codes also, all these things are really needed, or else your linting program or your PyTest program will trigger out an error. You cannot even do PyTest, clear PyTest when you write this kind of a mess up codes. So that's why, okay, because I don't want to spend all the details in our upcoming session, because where we are going to focus really on AWS parts. Okay, so that's why I'm just providing all the detailed information in Linux shell scripting itself. Okay, great. Okay, let's move on. So if you look at now, echo date validating the user availability on the server. Yes, in our case is going to work perfectly fine, because what I am going to do, okay, user equal to $1. I'm just specifying like user equal to $1 here. So it says echo validating the dollar user availability on the server. So it will be like the username which you passed. So again, I'm gripping out the user on cat etc password file. So this is going to work without any issue. Okay, which I have mapped it as check user. So here if I use -z check user, is going to give me like whether the user account exists on the server or not. If the user account does not exist, we don't have any issue, because it's going to end up the script. Okay, if the user exists, I'm saying info user exists proceeding with locking operation. So here is what the tricky part. Okay, here is the tricky part, because I am going to use this function for both lock and unlock. Okay, so if I want to use this text here, it's going to be an again tricky part. So I am going to get another variable here, which is nothing but operation, which is equal to $2. It defines like whether you are locking or unlock. So I am going to change this as operation. Okay, so it says like user exists proceeding to lock the account. That's it. We don't get locking, it's lock the account. And maybe you can even add ing also, it works, no harm in that. Okay, so here is a question, right? So if I'm going to lock, it should be a different. If I'm going to unlock, if it's going to be different. So what I'm going to do, let me take this code out, put at the below. Guys, if you look at, I am not using any editors to do it. Okay, so you guys have to understand, and you guys also need to get familiar. So that's why I'm doing everything in here, because as I mentioned earlier, right, in many places if you go and see all the most experienced persons in the team will be opening the script in somewhere in like some notepad or notepad plus plus or visual code and do the editing, and then they push it. Because of that, there are a lot of issues happening in Unix, like all the Windows carriage written characters or some special characters get into the system, and it causes like a unnecessary issue. So I don't encourage people doing that. But again, I rather that I would say practice as much as you can in VI editors. So that makes your life easy going forward. Okay. Now, so what I did, Kumar, you may ask me, right? So Kumar, like, why did you move this out? See, if it is there, I cannot define whether I need to lock or unlock the account. Maybe I will. What I will do, I will rewrite the code in a different function. Okay. For now, the function is specific for user availability. Let that do alone. I don't want to do nothing much, right? So, see, for example, what happens when I call a function here. Okay, this is going to happen in our case. The flow is going to be like this. When I call validate user availability function, is going to call this function, do the user validation. Once the user validation is done, okay, if the user does not exist, I am completely okay, because like this function is going to exit out of the script itself. Okay, this is going to exit, complete exit out of the script. So the script will come out. So I don't have any issue. Let's say the user exists. So it will print info user exists proceeding with the operation. So what happens once this is done, the control get returned to the next line. So the control get returned to the next line. What are we doing here? We are doing the actual locking or unlocking process. So basically we are changing the user to no login. Okay, so this operations happens here. Okay, so with that I think I'm very good. Okay, let me try to do that for lock first, so that if it works we will do it for unlock also. So I'm going to try to lock the account. Let's see, is there any differences or any issues I have did or anything, so that we will fix it and move forward. Okay, if you look at total argument passed to somewhere like received one user lock to lock account, the username is not getting populated rightly. Okay, validating the user availability on the server, here it comes perfectly fine. User oracle exists proceeding with the account, this is also perfectly fine. User oracle successfully logged, completed logging process, but here received one user hyphen something is not working. It says like lock to lock. Let me see what is that. Oh, sorry. So here, so this is not something which we did in our code. This is like already existing issue. So ideally it should be 2. Okay, probably we missed to validate yesterday. Just now we are validating. Okay, because like our second parameters is a username, not the first parameter. I just used $1, so that's why it got in that issue. So our script looks like perfectly working fine. So there are no issues which is reported due to this. So what I am going to do, I am going to do the same here also. I am going to remove all the lines which is repeated. So I am going to delete everything because all these things are not needed. Okay, so this I don't need this. Let me format this one. Okay, it gives the look and feel of your code. It will easily able to understand, so that's why I'm formatting. Okay, fine, great. So now if you look at my script compared to earlier, it got like completely reduced in its size. Okay, forget about the comments, don't include the comments, right? So if you look at the script, almost like the duplicate lines are even removed. So even if you really need, you can even like reduce this much more. Okay, so probably you can make sure you will have a function like perform operation on user. You can pass this as a variable. It should solve the problem, right? So as part of this process, right, I want to give you a feel and look how can you modularize or functionalize your existing script, by which you will reduce the code size and also enhance your reusability. Okay, so that's great. Like whatever we thought of doing it for today, yeah, we have done. But actually, like if you want to still enhance your modularity, yes, we can write it like very extensive modular code. I will just give you a tips and tips in our next session too. Okay, if you feel this session is good, just like to subscribe and share with your friends.